can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Facebook, we are YBM Chat Podcast. Instagram at YBM Chat. You can listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts at YBM Chat.
Hey, it's Dashia D.
Hey, it's Tre'Dub.
Hey, it's LadiiNova.
And we are
YBMC.
Young Black Millennials offering you a fresh new take you didn't know you needed.
Boy, ye. Saweetie cheated on Quavo?
No, other way around.
I know, because I was reading the tweet and it looked like Quavo was saying, "You're not the person I thought you was."
People who like cheat because they can, and I don't understand that, because if you are someone who's relatively attractive, well, really, you don't even have to be attractive, let's be honest, and you sleep with 20 plus, 30 plus, 50 plus people, what else is there for you? What else is out there? I feel like you've tried all the flavors, you've done all the things. What else is there? That's what I don't understand. After you've been with so many different people, whether you're a Quavo or you're just Jerome driving the city bus, like, I don't get it. I don't understand what it is that you're missing and why get into a relationship if you want to just kind of be free. Because there are some people who don't believe in monogamy. That's fine. Be with someone else who is on the same wavelength with you.
How I took that was that's just somebody who hurt and trying to cover their own behind, because she pretty much was saying like he was giving intimacy to other women, which is exactly what it sounds like. Intimacy. I don't care if it's emotional or physical. You're giving something to other females that should only be given to her. And I'm just over it, because it's like, again, like I said to Deja before, Saweetie has a degree. So she just wants to stop rapping. She can. I believe her family comes from money. Like Gabrielle Union is her cousin. She'll be fine. They look like they're good friends and they're close to some circumstance. So she would be fine. Quavo, you just got your GED last year. Like, really, who kind of, I feel like she kind of pushed him to do that. Like, everybody was commending them. I'll say them. Everybody was commending them, but more so Saweetie, because she was more the one, seemed like the one that kept it all together. Because she could have been out here on, live doing extra stuff and being, I don't know, anybody. She could have been out here just doing whatever, and she wasn't.
So the only question I have is like, because I know very little about this situation, but what was Quavo expecting her to do? Like I guess he was the one cheating, right? So what was he expecting her to do, when she found out that he was actually doing all that? For her to stay around, or for her to just have a whole bitch fit and then just come back because he gave her a gift and try to propose to her on stage and say, "I'm sorry, bruh"?
Practically that, because she said that. She was like, presents aren't band-aids. They don't hide scars, or whatever the case is. Along those lines, she said something like that. And it's like, you're right. You can't, she's letting it be known she can't be bought. So if he thinks he's about to pull her offset, now I don't know if that's just how she feels in the moment. It wouldn't really 100% break my heart, because it's not like I got any ties to them. Some people just go back. They might have a conversation that we never know anything about that will bring them back together. But if she stands on that, then people are going to be out here like, oh, she's fake, because she knows she really want to be with him, and she's putting on this front like she don't. It's like, no, she's not going to deal with somebody that's disrespecting her, and that she only be giving her certain things. They shouldn't be dealt out to 1,000 other people.
I
Like
mean,
if he's out here telling females like, oh, my mama did this to me and my daddy never loved me, and me and my siblings, we ain't like this, and it kind of hurt, it leaves me emotionally vulnerable. Randos don't need to know that, because now you welcome them in.
I don't look at him any different from any other guy. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but what does having, please answer this. I want both y'all to answer this to me. No matter if you're a male or a female, if you cheat, why is the first excuse that I have daddy or mommy issues? What the fuck they got to do with you cheating? I'm sorry. I really want to know this. Like, what? Is it because you don't feel loved enough from one person that you have to have it from 50 million other people because your mom or your dad didn't love you enough? I don't get that.
So I do think that there are people who have unresolved trauma from their childhood, and some of them enter into relationships before they've worked on themselves. I definitely believe that. Now, I think to constantly bring that up and refusing to get help for it is manipulative, because it's like, okay, you're telling me that this is an issue for you, but you're choosing not to work on said issue. Therefore, you're comfortable with it. And that's not okay for me. So like, I think that there is some truth to that, but I don't think that that should be used as an excuse, because at the end of the day, everybody has baggage. Everybody. That doesn't mean that you get to go around and just be reckless and hurt so many people in the process without at some point thinking, okay, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Maybe I have something that I need to work through, because I'm tired of hurting people and I'm tired of hurting.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't see no excuses. You cheat because you want to. Simple.
Yeah, and I think that that's easier for us to say as people who have not cheated, but I know that it doesn't start at cheating. I forgot what I was going to say earlier about Quavo, but people don't leave because they don't love you anymore, obviously. At some point, the person just gets fed up with the same old, and so they walk away. Now, do you guys feel like once a cheater, always a cheater? Because you said that if they have a conversation behind the scenes and she's like, you know what, I want to move forward, then we can do that. But I don't know. That was a question for the floor.
Once a cheater, always a cheater?
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. I used to, but I personally didn't have an experience. I did witness a close friend of mine kind of go through that experience with their significant other. And the situation happened I think 2 years ago. And of course they're back together. They was able to work through their issues. And I mean, they haven't had any issues ever since that happened. So I mean, I don't believe in that 100%. I do believe that people could change. Now, of course, if it does happen again, I can of course leave it up to the person to get the fuck out as soon as possible. But to answer your question, I don't think once a cheater, always a cheater. I used to think that, but I've had a change of heart with a recent situation for someone that's close to me.
I guess I'm just evil. I think that I feel like it would take a whole lot, depending on how much or how often you've done it. So for people who say they slipped up and it just happened, if you can prove that that's not what you went out there and intended, I don't even know. That doesn't even sound right. Because you still had an intention to do something because it happened, in my mind.
Well, I do have something.
I don't know. It's just hard.
Oh, is it?
So sorry, but so to Dacia's point about how if you have unresolved traumatic issues that has happened, maybe like you said, people probably cheat because of that or whatever. Now, say if you do cheat, have that conversation to kind of open up and be open with your significant other, kind of let them know what has gone on and what you're going to do to fix that if it already hasn't been fixed at all, because of course all relationships is work, so that's why go ahead.
I was about to say, that was my point to Dacia earlier. If you've had these issues before, mommy daddy issues or past relationship issues, I feel like that's something that should be put out there before, and you let somebody know, like, you feel like you could do this, so you don't want to be in a relationship, but you, like, not right now, but you feel like that's the person for you, but you want to get you together first. I feel like that's more responsible to say than to be like, I want you and I want you to be with you, but because I haven't resolved these issues, I know I'm a cheat, but I still want to keep you locked in because you're the person that I need to be with. Like, you're the person that's good for me, but I still want to do whatever.
I think
I don't feel like people are having those conversations.
I think that we're assuming that people have self-awareness, and that's just not the case. That's just not the case. I'm sorry. Most people are not self-aware. Most people do not make decisions or react in a way, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is because when I was 6, this happened. No. Most people, that takes many, many years of growing and reflecting to get to that point. Therapy. To get to the point where they can where they can reflect on things and actually analyze the things that they do and that triggered them. So that's first. You need to be self-aware. A lot of people are not. That takes work. Second, I used to feel like the whole once a cheater, always a cheater thing. But I had some conversations with some people who are recovered cheaters. So being very real, I have been cheated on in past relationships, and I am a person who, I'm going to ask you a very direct question. I'm not going to dance around it. I want to know the answer. And so I have asked exes before who have cheated on me, when they're like, oh, so you want closure? Like, what do you want to know? I'll flat out say, why did you cheat? And they're like, oh, whoa, what? Well, we're here now. Let's do it. And so we have the conversation about why they chose to do that. But by the end of the conversation, I have been told, like, after that situation happened and things were terrible between us, and the breaking up process was so terrible and losing the friendship and yada, 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 that because of that, they have not done that again. Like, it took for them to make that decision to hurt me and hurt themselves in the end, and for this thing to blow up, for them to realize, okay, I can't do that again. I need to figure out what's going on with me. Now, does it suck that I had to get hurt in the process? Absolutely. But did that person learn, okay, I don't need to do that again? Yeah. And they haven't, as far as what they're telling me. So
You only got those few people, because the ones that I've dealt with, they tried to put the blame, or at least that one tried to put the blame on me. It was like, oh, you're out there at school, I don't know what you're doing. I'm like, waking up at 5 a.m. to do push-ups in stadium because I'm an ROTC. You think I got time to be doing that and going to class? I'm pretty sure people made time to do that, but not me. So for that person, I was like, and they had issues. They did have issues. And the thing is, we talked about those issues. And I always gave people an out or an option. I'm like, if you don't feel like you're going to be a good person in a relationship, or it's too much, we can just continue to be friends. I'm not forcing nobody to be with me. You said yes, and then all of a sudden, boom. Well, you're probably out there doing it. I'm not. I'm at my sister's house chilling, in here watching the Cleveland show. That's what I'm doing.
I do have a question for y'all. Like, how do y'all feel about long distance relationships now that Megan just brought up that point?
It's hard. It's not easy. It's the hardest shit in the world.
I've done it too.
Yeah. So each one has been like further and further and further. So currently, y'all know, 16 hours. Not.
Jesus.
But my personal stance on it was, if I feel like we can keep communication going and not feel like each other is being exiled, then I feel like it can be a little easier when we do get around each other. I feel like if I can't trust you now from where you are, then there's no point in you coming here or me going there. And I've had that with people. It was like, everything started out cool. Like, the talking stage was cool. We talked every day. Everything was chill. We were supposedly understanding of where each other came from. Then it's like, boom, let's get in a relationship, let's do this. And then right after that, communication dwindles. It's all about them. We can only discuss their problems. When it was my turn, it's like, okay, well, I hope everything works out. I'm like, so when I get there, what are we going to do? Because you're making it plain now that I'm not one of your priorities. I'm just like a seat filler. That's it. And I'm not saying you got to give me your day 24/7. They don't give me their day 24/7. I don't look for it. Like I get my baby modes and everything, but it's like you have a child, you work, you have class. I'm doing things. I have a podcast. I have y'all as my friends. I have like work and stuff to do. I have schoolwork. I have my own family here that I'm dealing with. So if it's not a 24/7 thing, I get it, but we've talked about it. And it's not like, oh, for the week, I'm not gonna talk to you because I'm busy. And just disappear and then expect you to be there when I call you again. All relationships, I don't care near or far, it's you gotta put in work.
Agreed. I think the long distance relationships are rough. I feel like the furthest away I've been is like 6 hours maybe. So not as bad, but still. The reason why I struggle with them is because I'm a person who likes my own time and space to myself. And I think a lot of times what happens in long distance relationships are that couples overcompensate for the fact that they're not in person. And so sometimes they'll get into these modes where they're on the phone all the time. Whereas like if we were living together, we wouldn't be on the phone all day long. Like we would see each other in the morning. All right, peace out. See you when you get home from work. Eat together, and then we have that break from each other. Whereas when you're long distance, sometimes you feel that pressure of, oh no, I got to make sure I'm visible and on their mind. See, I'm on the phone all day. And for me personally, I can feel suffocated. And so I have had to tell people like, hey, I'm gonna go do my thing and you go do your thing, and then we're gonna reconnect at this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dashia, I 100% agree. So I like low-key, as of recently, have started to become away from being to being kind of more clingy. I don't know why. It's just like, but let me first answer the long distance question first. I've been in a long distance situation before, and it sucked. Oh my god! And I think that, and I think it made me be more clingy. And my long distance situation, for me, I think it didn't work out mostly because I didn't kind of know what I wanted in a relationship, and so like. I was expecting it to be like, oh, well, since we can't see each other, we have to talk every day at some point, whether that be FaceTime, text, and all of that stuff like that. And then I actually got the opposite from you. It wasn't happening every day. So by then I'm kind of like, well, dang, like, are you into me? Like, what's going on? Like, you know, if you say, you know, I want to try and make this work, and yet, you know, there's no communication there, or I feel like there's no effort being put in, you know, like I start to feel some type of way. Like I do, like no matter if it's a long distance or a near relationship, like I start to feel some type of way. If I'm not feeling that the energy is being reciprocated, then what's the point, you know?
Oh yeah. I mean, for me personally, I wouldn't ever want to date long distance indefinitely.
Yeah.
Like I would want there as adults, like I would want there to be some kind of plan where, okay, we're going to be in the same place.
What we doing, you know?
Whether that's 6 months from now, a year from now, but like we're going to end up in the same place, because I can't do that forever. And I feel like with people like Saweetie and Quavo, when you're in the business, that's basically a long distance relationship. Y'all are constantly away from each other.
Yeah.
So I don't know how people do it, but I could not do that indefinitely. No.
But see, with theirs, I feel like it's different because people automatically expect men to be like that. You're a rapper, oh, you gotta have groupies and you gotta give some of them attention. Otherwise, it's gonna be a problem. I've had somebody say that to me. Another dating app, I think he was like a producer or wanting to be a producer, and he was like, "Oh, well, if I go on the road, you're gonna have to be okay." And I was like, "I don't have to do nothing because you don't have to do that." Like people, when it comes to like Meg Thee Stallion, this girl could not go out and just take a picture. Like we are friends with Tre'Dub. If we went out with him and took a picture, people who know us wouldn't think anything of it. But we are on a celebrity status and we just broke up with somebody and now we're gonna take a picture of him. Oh, they on to him next. That's it. They want him. Maybe they trying to get at him tonight. It's like, no, I just happened to see him in the club and took a picture with him. That's what it was like. They thought she was gonna be with Trey Songz. Then it was her and the baby and all this. They just made assumptions because they took pictures or decided to work on stuff. And then it made like a name for her for a while, like, oh, she's nasty, she's fresh, she's always out here looking for the next thing. But when guys do it, nothing. That's just what it's supposed to be because they're on the road for so long, they don't have no companionship and all this other stuff. So for Saweetie and Quavo, I feel like the road thing isn't really the excuse. It's just, did you want the relationship or did you not? Because again, you got, like you said, they both do the same thing. Sweetie's out here. She's doing music. She's touring. Is she out here giving other guys her time or even selling them a dream to think that they will have some type of time? I don't get that vibe from her. I'm not going to say that I got it from Quavo either, but again, he was with Offset.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you're in that kind of relationship and you can afford to, maybe you have to plan around it. Like, hey, we're not going to go longer than 2.5, 3 weeks without seeing each other, so that you have something to look forward to and you don't feel this temptation to wild out. Basically,
what is temptation? Because I feel like if you're tempted, I'm saying I feel like if you're tempted, you already was thinking about it before you got tempted.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. That could be like if I was in a 20-year marriage. And I promise you, if I'm in a 20-year marriage, we go through ups and downs. We're going to have spots that are kind of dry. And I am with somebody who's constantly on the road for his job. He's in business, he's in whatever. And there's a disconnect there. I'm not looking for anything because naturally I don't cheat and I don't look for that. But let's say I am still in this field of social work. I go to a convention and I see a colleague and we're talking, we become friends. And somehow we go to lunch and I feel like this guy is understanding. Now, did I go seek him out? Did I go look for him or did that literally happen? Now that would be up to me to decide, okay, at what point is this going to be a cutoff so that he doesn't get any ideas and nothing inappropriate is said or done. That's what I mean. Like sometimes things happen, but I'm not saying you're just this helpless person. Oh no, they got a nice booty. Let me go see what that's about. That's not what I mean. I just mean like life, things happen. Yeah.
I 100% agree with
that. So at that point, with your scenario, if you're telling your spouse that's always on the road, like, I would like for something to change, if they automatically say no, would you just go ahead and be like, so I think we need to separate or divorce?
No. For me, I'm going
because
to
you have some.
all.
Because I'm going to say you have some people where they have those conversations and nobody wants to change, but they're so scared to get, like you said, 20 years. You have this going on, y'all have the conversation, nobody wants to change, and now it's like y'all are scared to leave because of what other people might say versus your happiness or whatever the case is. Some people are like that. And it's like, if you're not happy and you've had the conversation, you've exhausted all options, leave before going and opening yourself up to temptation or cheating. That's why I feel for some people, cheating is a choice, because if you talk to this person and be like, I'm not happy, I want this to happen, and I don't feel like it's happening, and I would rather break it off now. If y'all ain't had that conversation to try to break it off, then I feel like that's what you just wanted to do. You just wanted to cheat.
Oh, cheating
and now
is
you're making everything else an excuse. Like you're making everything an excuse. I feel like if you don't want to be with me anymore, Tell me that. Yes, it's going to hurt, but I'd rather you tell me than to cheat on me. Go do whatever you're doing, and then come back and expect me to deal with it. Because relationships are about battling it out and fighting for one another.
Compromise.
Obviously, you didn't fight.
No. I agree with you. I do think that when you cheat, you are making a decision to do so. You asked me about the temptation thing, and I was saying it's not always sex. Because like I said to you before we started recording, anytime I've been cheated on, it has not been sexual. It was always emotional. And I feel like when it comes to that, yes, of course, you shouldn't be talking about certain things with certain people. I should be your safe place, not her and her. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was giving the example for. But I know.
And I still feel like I'm going to say any form, I still feel like there's choice. Because if you have somebody that's giving you that window of opportunity to be like, hey, I understood that you went through this during this period of time. We can discuss it more, or, was it something that I did or said that triggered that? If you're offering them that type of conversation and they still prefer to go and talk to somebody else,
that's on them.
Yeah.
Like, you made that choice. Like, oh, she listened to, like, I hear people like, oh, she listened to me. And I was like, well, what the fuck was I doing? Because I actually was sitting here listening to you. I'm getting everything together, and now.
And in that point, that's why you don't blame yourself for like why shit doesn't work out or why someone decides to cheat on you, because that's one thing that I've been learning myself. Like, of course, not the whole cheating on thing, but if certain things don't work out, certain relationships or certain don't work out, I personally used to always go into this negative self-talk of what I did to make this person leave, or what I did to make this person choose to cheat on me, or whatever the case is. And I really had to get out of that, because one thing that someone always told me is that you can't blame yourself how fucked up a person is. You really can't. Especially, like, and most recently someone told me this. And I'm like, yeah, like, everyone has their, like you said, everyone has their own shit. But if you're in a relationship with somebody, like Dashia said, I should be your safe place. I should be your safe space, So it's like, if we have exhausted all options and you decide to go cheat on me, you expect me to be okay with that? Like, or deal with it or try to work through it? No. Like, I personally fall out of love quicker than most people. I really do. So if I tried my hardest to try and, to be there for you, my energy is out, like, and so is my love, so is my heart. I'm done with you now.
I know Daisha likes to bring it up and talk about us Scorpios. I'm gonna speak for the two of us that is on the screen. It really is easy for me to not care about a person anymore once I know for facts that I've done everything I was supposed to do and I've put my best foot forward. And you're just gonna hit me with an excuse like that first ex that I talked about. You assumed that I was doing something instead of talking to me about how you felt and everything. So I gave you that window opportunity, and I was like, I shouldn't have, because I knew I wasn't gonna get over the cheating thing. But it's like, if you feel like you want us to be together, you need to be the one to show me why I need to take you back. Then I still became the bad guy. You're not trying to talk to me. You're not trying to do this. It's like, why do I need to be the person? I didn't cheat. I didn't fall in somebody else's lap. I'm like, so now I'm over it. Oh, but you said that you love me. I was like, I did. But now, no, I don't. I no longer care. You didn't care about you said to yourself during that moment, what would Megan think? How would she feel? And you still did it. You blatantly said to me on the phone, I thought about you the entire time. Oh, I'm not there. You could have thought about me. Because if you thought about me, it would have never happened. So now I'm over it. Now I'm done. And people are like, well, you just was like talking about them or so lovey-dovey. And I was like, yeah, I was. And now it's a month or 2 months later. Over it.
Well, I am not a Scorpio. And I can't fall out of love with somebody overnight, even if they do hurt me. I still have feelings for them. I'm not a robot. I can't turn it on and off, but I can make the decision to just walk away if that's, what I choose to do. But I will say that in situations where I have chosen to stay, I feel like it's both of our responsibilities to try to make that work. Yes, it's your responsibility to reassure me, but in order for me to rebuild trust with you, you have to be willing to reassure me. If you're not willing to reassure me, then what are we doing?
And also be able to receive that, this person's trying to reassure you as well.
Yes. So
Like, so it's like, if the person's doing all this work and you just like a whole brick wall, then like,
yeah.
No, I'm not gonna lie, that will probably be the hard part for me. Because again, we have had that conversation. We are 2 going in 3 years, which is my longest, and I'm excited. Because it never happened. But we've both had a conversation. We've both been cheated on, and I'm like, I feel like if I did it, I feel like that would be it. And in my mind, I was like, even if I did cheat once, you let this other person do it, I don't know how many times, and forgave them. And I felt some type of way because I'm like, if I were to do it and you just give up on me, how is that fair? That was my selfish way of thinking. I was like, how is that fair for me to have to slip up one time and everything that I have done and tried to do, and then this other person got chance after chance after chance after chance after chance after chance after chance, and never even tried to make up for it or prove that they wasn't ever going to do it again. I feel like that would have been selfish as fuck. But then for me, I was like, I don't want to think about it because I want to fight them now with the thought of it.
Mm-hmm.
If they were to do it, I feel like with this being my longest relationship ever and everything that we have discussed and went through, I feel like this would be the only person where I would try and actually get over it. It would take a lot.
Yeah.
And I would have to like really, really get out of that mode and stop bringing it up because I know that's me. I would be there constantly like, oh, so what was this bitch like? Did you like the way they kissed your neck? Should I be doing it? I'm heck no. I'm like, I'm not wanting to know what it's like, but say they came and like, kiss my face or something, and I try to reciprocate it like, oh, did I do it right? Did I do it the way that the bitch did? Is that how they did it? Is that how that got you over there? That's my problem, and that's what I have to work on. But for them, it's like I would try because of other circumstances.
Join us every Monday.
Like,
Comment,
subscribe.
gas us up.
Woo.